So after a long delay, Adidas has given us back in July the new Ultra Boost 5, which had a completely new design, and I would say that it wasn't as good as previous releases. But now in the second half of August, at least here in the UK, we had released the cheaper version of this Ultra Boost range, which is called the Pure Boost. So in today's video we're gonna have a look at one of those two color combinations available for now. Hello guys, and welcome back for a brand new review. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also giving me a like. It will really help out the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm going to review in the next few days. In today's video guys, we're going to have a look at a slightly cheaper version of the Ultra Boost, which is called the Pure Boost, which will use some inferior materials. So let's go ahead and also start with the box guys, which as you can see will come in one of the regular boxes in this matte black colorway, which will have this big Adidas logo in this gray color here on top of the lid, and we're also gonna have a few other small ones in this white color on each side of the box. So let's just go ahead and take them out guys. So in today's video guys, we're gonna have a look at this brand new release coming from Adidas for this Pure Boost 5. So in the last couple of years guys, this Pure Boost range, it seems that it started to borrow more elements from that more expensive range, which will be the Ultra Boost one, which was quite clear for last year's release, which was called the Pure Boost 23, which was almost the identical release with the Ultra Boost Lite, which dropped back in 2023. And I would say that it's gonna be roughly the same for this year release, where also the name got changed as well, which happened also for the Ultra Boost range. And as I said earlier, this one I really feel that it's gonna borrow a lot of elements from that Ultra Boost range, and in the same time it really feels, at least for me personally, that it's gonna borrow some element design from the 4D Forward 2, which was released around 2 years ago. So this one dropped at least here in the UK in the second half of August for the retail price of £110, which will be around 120 US dollars. Nevertheless guys, we have this one in, which I need to admit that as expected will be quite a comfortable pair. But this one, as we're gonna pay with £50 less than the Ultra Boost range, it's gonna have materials which for sure are inferior. The breathability won't be as good. Of course, we won't have that continental rubber outsole, but the design overall, I really feel that it's at least 70 to 80% borrowed from that more expensive Ultra Boost range. So let's go ahead and also do a small breakdown of this one guys. So for this upper guys, we're gonna have two types of mesh material, which are actually feeling quite cheap. And I think that the main reason will be that for this one, we're gonna have at least 20% recycled material used for this upper, which I need to admit that it's noticeable. So for this upper, we're gonna have two types of mesh. One of it will come in this navy colorway, which will cover most of this front part of the shoe, the sides in the midfoot, and also most of this back part of the shoe as well. But coming back at the front of the shoe, at least covering the top part of the toe section, we're gonna have this black mesh material, which will have quite visible perforation holes to give it some breathability. And I feel that the only way to get some air inside of this shoe will be here at the top of the toe section. So between this navy mesh and black one, we're gonna have this fused material in this black color, which will sit on top of a stitch. Then continuing in the midfoot, we're gonna have the very well-known 3 stripes in a white color. So this one feels to be like a rubberized fused material, and these ones will sit on top of this chameleon rubberized material, which will make part of this lacing system, where you're gonna have these punch out holes, and this one will keep in place these flat black laces, and underneath these laces we're gonna have a minimal amount of padding for this tongue, which will be made out of the same mesh material as the one used here at the top of the tobo section. So for this one we're gonna have some extra padding just towards the top of the tongue, where we're also gonna have this rubberized Adidas logo in this blue color. Going towards the back of the shoe, guys, as the Ultra Boost range, we're gonna have this heel counter support, which will be available on both medial and lateral side. But this one won't be a full TPU material, it's gonna be just the frame, which will come in this blue color. And as you can see, underneath we're gonna have like a fused material in this navy color. As usual, on the lateral side we're also gonna have written Pureboost in this white color. So at the back of the heel section we're also gonna have this reflective stripe, and just above it we're gonna have this black pull tab, which will have the same rubberized material logo in this blue color as the one used at the tongue. So going now inside of the shoe, guys, for this one we're gonna have this black lining, which underneath will have a minimal amount of padding, which is gonna have some extra pods here on each side of the ankle section, which yet again will replicate the design from the new Ultra Boost 5. And as you can see, this tongue will actually be gusseted, which for sure will help a lot. For previous Pureboost releases, the tongue wasn't kept in place. At the bottom, as you can see, we're also gonna have this very cheap, I would say, foam insole in this blue color, which will have imprinted Pureboost in this white color here at the heel section. So now, guys, we can go to this dark navy or dark gray light boost midsole, which for sure feels quite lightweight, and yet again it's borrowing the design from the Ultra Boost range, which dropped last month. But this one won't be as high as that one. And for this one we're gonna have a written light boost here at the front of the shoe on the lateral side in this white color. So for sure I find that the level of comfort as expected for this range is quite good. So now, guys, we can go to this gray rubber outsole, which yet again will be almost identical with the one from the Ultra Boost range, but this one won't use any continental rubber. For this one we're just gonna have this Adiwear material for the full length. And of course, as this one is gonna be quite cheap, we won't have that traction system, but at least we're gonna have a lot of this a light boost exposed in a lot of places, which it's actually quite noticeable, as this one is quite flexible. As in for the actual sizing, guys, for this one I just went with my true to size, and I need to admit that even though I have a skinny feet, this one it's quite tight on my foot. So in case you want to have it tight, at least for skinny feet, you can stay with your true to size. But most definitely I would advise that for people with normal feet, guys, you should go with a half size up. And if you have wide feet, most definitely you'll need to go with a full size up, just to make sure that this one it's not gonna be too tight for you. So overall, guys, this latest release coming from Adidas for this Pureboost 5, in my opinion, it's exactly what I expected. As the previous release, which was the Pureboost 23, this one it's borrowing a lot of design elements from the new revised Ultra Boost 5, which dropped last month. So we're gonna have roughly the same design for this one as well, but as this one will come at a lower price, of course, the material used for the upper at least will be inferior. We won't have a nice prime knit, which will be stretchy, but at least for this one we're gonna have this new light boost material for this midsole, which for sure it's very lightweight and also very comfortable underfoot. But in my opinion, I feel that the Pureboost 23 it's still a very viable option out there, which if I'm not mistaken now is gonna be on sale. But of course, if you don't want to pay that quite high price for the Ultra Boost 5, for sure this one will be a good option. You'll just need to be aware that for this one you'll just need to go with a half size up comparing with your normal sizing in Adidas. So yeah, guys, this was my unboxing and reviewing of this brand new release coming from Adidas for this Pureboost 5. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to press the like button, maybe also subscribe to the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm gonna review in the next few days. Of course, if you want to have a look at any of my latest reviews, you can choose from any of the videos which you have now on the screen. And as always, I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching!